Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is WOR title race. We can win the title again this race. There is going to be 3 races to go if you include this one. And we are in the US again. And as you can see there, we are leading by 71 points after Kota. And today we are racing around Miami. So there's only going to be a maximum of 75 points available. WR doesn't do fastest lap. I think so, fastest lap point. So all we have to do is basically score 5 points. Simple as that. We need P7 to win the title. No matter where Lucas or Nicolas finish, we just need P7. And if none of them win, then we win the title anyway, as there's only going to be 2 races remaining after this. Las Vegas will be after this actually. And then the final round I actually don't know, but I hope we don't have to really care about that, because I hope we can win the championship today in Miami. And as you can see, we're actually on a push lap on the intermediates, and that's because a lot of people are doing a last to first challenge, and there are actually 5 people doing a last to first challenge. So I went out on inters and tried to get into Q2 on a set of inters, because only 15 people will make it into Q2, of course, but there's only a 20 car grid. So if 5 people don't do Q1, then we can just set a lap on the intermediates and make it into Q2. And I thought I was original with this idea, but like 14 other people or 13 other people had the exact same idea. So yeah, it's gonna be a battle on the intermediates here in Q1. And across the line we're gonna go. It is P4 actually. And yeah, as you can see there, we ended up P7 at the end of the session. Declan Barrett and Will Lewis and Johnny Tormela were the only ones on slicks. And the rest was all on intermediates or did not qualify. And actually, Lucas Blakely, Nicolas Longue, Danny Moreno, Fabricio Donoso and Thomas Ronner are all going for a last to first challenge. And yeah, 2 of my championship rivals going for a last to first challenge. I think they realize probably that the chances of winning the championship are very small from here on, because
holy smokes,
I don't think I ever
must be the worst lap I've done on this game.
I had 3 league races in a row where I did not score 5 points at least not in the final 3 years. Maybe when I just started out league racing, but I think in these days I always get like at least P8, P9, P10 in a race, and then the race after I usually am in the top 5 again. So I actually had an absolute stinker in my first lap of Q2. So I had to go out again. A lot of people went for 3 new tyrants. I was kind of hoping to save a new set of softs for the race, as we are 2 tenths up at the moment, and I just got such bad understeer through there.
How much oversteer?
And lost over 3 tenths there. Yeah, you couldn't really see the oversteer I got initially. It's really a feelings thing. But then the oversteer, as I corrected it kind of through going off the brakes and going back on throttle, I just got horrible understeer straight after that. And that's what cost us 3 tenths. Got us onto the marbles. And going through the chicane,
my god, man,
I just couldn't really get the car to balance out nicely. So yeah, that's us out in Q2, and we're kind of joining the rest of our championship rivals in almost last to first challenge, starting P13. Yeah, not a great qualifying session, but into the race we're gonna go from P13, starting on the hard combine of tires, just like everyone around us on the hards. It's gonna be 5 red lights, and away we go for round number 13 of the WR Championship. Into turn 1, we're gonna straight away jump Philip Racinator, but back bunches up quite a lot here, going around the outside, because I was a bit scared of any crashes here as the track tightens up a lot, as I get a big snap of oversteer and dirty air there. Managed to keep our P12 position for now. And through the fast chicane we're gonna go. You can see it's a little bit close with Jet lagging quite a lot into the long left-hander. We're gonna send it down the inside, as Tamas goes actually quite wide there, and Jet send it down the inside as well. Try to leave space for Tamas there on the exit, and up to P11 we go. A good but chaotic opening lap so far. 2 positions gained. And you can see there Will Lewis actually going on the attack on us there and on Tamas. And we actually managed to fend him off for now. But loads of people going side by side once again through this super tight section here. Istvan Pukki and Declan Parrott going side by side through there, which does not work at all. As we're just trying to find some space to maybe squeeze through. But Jet Norgrove, of course, on the mediums is going to get a much better exit on that compound. Much more grip. But he's most likely also going to have to box onto hards earlier than us, unless he's going for a medium soft strategy. So, end of lap 1 now. Again, Declan going side by side, this time with Luke Smith and Jet Norgrove. And they are going to be going side by side into turn 1. Otis leading the race at the moment on the hards as well, I think so. And now they're going to make it 3 wide into turn 1. Declan actually locks up, goes wide, and that is another position for us gained. P13 to P10. It's been a great start to the race so far. And hoping that we can keep gaining positions every single lap like that. Unfortunately, it does not work that way. And at the halfway point of lap 4, we're still P10. We got Will Lewis behind us now. And Luke Smith on the hard side of us as well. Jet Norgrove up to P7, I think so now. Maybe even P6. And we're going on the attack on Luke Smith. He's on the same strategy as us. So this is actually for position into the hairpin run and go. Istvan is going to go defensive. Or a little bit defensive. And we can't really send it on the inside of Luke there. Luke around the outside of Istvan. He gets a little bit squeezed though. And that gives us the opportunity once again into turn 1. We're going around the outside of Luke Smith and perhaps Istvan as well into turn 1. We're gonna brake very late into turn 1. Go around the outside and up to P8 we go. And after 4 laps we are up to P8 now. So again, 2 positions gained. Did have to use a lot of our battery though, so we're gonna have to recharge that in the coming few laps. We were on 100%. Now we're down to 55. So gonna have to play it a little bit calm here and see if we can maybe snatch away some more positions without having to use a lot of our battery. Jet, of course, still on the faster tire on the mediums. Expecting him, to be honest, to gain a few more positions in the coming laps. As I had to defend a little bit from Istvan and Luke there. Had to use again a bit more of my battery and we're down to 43% now. And I desperately need to start recharging some of that battery. End of lap 6, you can see there, Jet still ahead of us, hasn't really made any inroads, as Duncan sends it down the inside of Valentin, as VSC is deployed actually, and I have to make a very quick decision here if I'm gonna box, and I decided to box for a new set of mediums and go for a 2-stop strategy, because there is no way we're doing 23 laps on a set of mediums, and I knew that if I was gonna box for mediums that I was gonna have to go for 2-stop, so we're gonna have to make up a lot of time here. On this new set of mediums. We've got another new set of mediums that we're most likely going to go on to. As the lobby has restarted, we still have a new set of
time I more or less lost?
Softs anyway, so we've got the opportunity to do medium softs from here on, or go medium. But we're going to have to figure that out in the coming few laps and see how these mediums are going to perform. Luke Smith behind us on the exact same strategy, so we're going to have to work together in the coming few laps a little bit in order to try and catch back up to the pack. We've got Yannick Schmidt 2.5 seconds ahead of us, and then our old teammate Danny Moreno 7.8 seconds ahead of us, and he is behind the leading train. So once we've made up 8 seconds, we then have to overtake everyone from there on. And we're gonna have to overtake 13 people. Simple as that. Now, midway into lap 8, we're gonna turn on the overtake button because I want to get past Yannick Schmidt here at the end of this race. So we're gonna turn on the DRS, get the slipstream, and into the left hander we go. This is gonna have to be quite a ascent, so we're gonna go down the inside and up to P13 we go. Now 6.1 seconds to go, and that shows how much time we've gained on this new set of mediums. But is it gonna be enough? Those new tires are gonna start wearing off as well, of course. Midway into lap 10 now. Istvan Pukki on an old set of hards, so you can see he is crawling around.
Oh my god, is this a genuine pace?
And as you can hear me sound surprised. They were so slow through that section that I actually had myself questioning if Istvan was not trolling, but that's how much slower used hards are compared to relatively new mediums. And now we're only 2.5 seconds behind Danny. And it looked like Eastfront was backing up there, but you can see from the delta of Danny Moreno ahead of him that was their actual pace. That was how much time they were losing through there. And that's why our two-stop has a genuine chance here of working. So 2.1 second behind now. Tires are slowly starting to wear off, of course. And Luke Smith probably gonna go for a move soon as well, because that's just natural, you know. Once you've caught up to almost to the train, the car behind that you're working together with is gonna want to be ahead. So I'm not gonna use ERS here, just gonna let him go. There's still, at the end of this lap, 18 laps remaining, so I'm not gonna fight this too hard. Play the long game, let Luke go ahead. He probably has more ERS than us after being in our DRS for the past 5 laps. We had to use quite a lot of ERS in those overtakes to kind of get past comfortably. So start of lap 12 now, we have completely caught up to Danny Moreno and Philip Schneider. And yeah, you can see there Luke getting ahead. You can see, even though those laps, those tires are now 5 laps old, we still have a lot more grip. And Danny actually has a little bit of a slide. And on this exit we're gonna have more traction, turn on the overtake button, and then just tuck in the slipstream, go around the outside of this little right kink, turn on the overtake button a little bit again, and then go for it on Philip Schneider, the teammate of Luke Smith, of course. He's gonna want to let him go, and Philip brakes quite early there to let Luke go. But we had to avoid him actually quite a lot there. We gave each other space in the end, and up to P12. Oh, that was very close to a race-ending crash. And yeah, no one to blame there, of course, apart from myself. I should have been a little bit more aware, to be honest, as Duncan Hoffland has a little incident there. And he is out of the race. Joni Tormela started on the softs, is boxing now for either hards or mediums. So another 2-3 positions there, basically. Joni, of course, will come out ahead once we box, simply because he's gonna get an undercut right trigger on used tires, and you can see how much time you lose on used tires compared to new tires. So no doubt about it that he's gonna undercut us. And midway into lap 13 we're once again in traffic, and we're gonna try and pass Fabrizio into the hairpin. Still 9 cars ahead of us, and using a little bit of our battery there to get closer and tuck into the slipstream. Fabrizio has a lot of top speed, as you can see there, and into the hairpin. We're just gonna have to outbrake him, which is not gonna be too hard, of course. We've got so much more grip than those hard runners, and we leave Fabrizio space on the exit. Up to P9 we go. Luke Smith still with the fastest lap of the race, and now we've got our championship rival Lucas Blakely ahead of us. Then Luke Smith, who was on the same strategy as us, and then Nicolas Longuet on hards as well, or other championship rival. Again, we're not expecting a very hard overtake, but the thing is, we've got obviously a lot more grip, but the pit window has opened again. People can start boxing for for mediums, basically again now. And yeah, we are not sure at the moment what we're gonna do. Can we go long? Of course, we got fresher tires, so technically we're gonna get undercut by less. But do we want to get undercut? Do we want to lose track position again? We've given up track position many times this race. First time was qualifying. Actually, we go for a huge lines down the inside of Lucas Blakely there. I have done this race myself and I didn't even expect it. But up to P8 we go. Those mediums are clearly still a lot faster than those old hards, as we're nearing to the end of this 8-lap stint. Or 8 laps on the mediums done by the end of this lap. And now we have to get past Nicolas Longuet. Again, he's probably not going to make it easy, of course, on those old hards. He wants to stay ahead of us and maybe still have a little chance in the championship. We're going for a little switchback here. Can't really get the power down early in that dirty air, but we're going to go for the move in turn 1. Once again, we've turned on the overtake button, and we're going to have a little look down the inside, and again, we can brake much later on these tires. Now, Declan Barrett ahead of us now. He was ahead of us early on in this race as well, if you remember, but went off, or actually locked up in lap 2, turn 1. So, let's see if we can go for a move straight away here. Midway into lap 15, DRS zone coming up. as Luke Smith sends it down the inside of Jet Norgrove. We're gonna turn on the overtake button, perhaps on the exit. Maybe not for long. You can see Declan is not gonna fight this too hard because he knows we've got so much more grip. Now into the slipstream of Jet Norgrove. Can we get 2 cars in one straight here? Yes, we can. We're gonna go down the inside and outbrake Jet Norgrove. And we're just picking them off one by one by now. We still have so much more grip. And the first people have started to box for new mediums as Luke Smith once again goes down the inside of Valentin Bruffer. And you can see there, Valentin had quite a compromised exit there because of it. And we're gonna turn on the DRS once again, just like Luke Smith ahead of us. And maybe we can have a little go at Luke into the next braking zone. We're gonna go around the outside and brake as late as we can. We go a little bit deep, almost hit Shanaka. And now the next one turns into the inside for us, but we were just not quite far enough alongside. And I did not want to go side by side through this section and decided to give up on that one. Luke Smith, end of lap 16, boxing for a new set of mediums. Shanaka Clay continuing on the hards, and you can see there Valentin Bruffer behind us still in the hards as well. Jet Norgrove actually on the mediums still going strong. He's probably going for the softs. And then we've got Lucas Blakely in P5 on hards. He's probably going for mediums. Either at the end of this lap or the end of next lap. Currently, I'm actually thinking of going way longer. Lap 20 perhaps. You could see how strong new tires were in our first catch-up. So I was like, you know what, we still got relatively fresh mediums. They are now 10 laps old. And
Is Otis behind Thomas or ahead of Duncan?
I decided, you know what, we're not going to get undercut by that much because we're on fresh mediums. I'm just going to continue. We are very likely to win the championship this race anyway, because Lucas and Nicolas are not really in contention to win this race unless it's really going to go down in the top 3, 4, 5. So you know what, we're going to take some risks. Go long, very long, and have some fun in these final few laps. Absolutely annihilate anyone on a new set of mediums in the final 9 laps. I expected Shanaka to box here, to be honest, on 2 mediums, and yeah, that's why I didn't go for a move, and he does box for a new set of mediums. So does Valentin, and so does Jet, but Jet goes on to a new set of softs. Luke is behind us,
Don't care too much about track position.
Out on the hards, and as you can hear me say there, I'm not caring too much about track position. End of the lap, 2.2 second gap to Lucas, and Lucas boxing for a new set of mediums with 11 laps to go. And we box even 2 laps later than that. 9 laps to go once we come out of the pit lane. And then it's gonna be 9 qualifying laps on a set of mediums. So on goes another new set of mediums. And out we go, and you can see all those cars passing us. Remember, we were in a net P5 when everyone boxed. We're gonna come out here in P14, and we get a warning for crossing the pit lane exit line, even though we're in the middle of the pit lane. And we got Duncan Hovland, our in-game teammate, right ahead of us, and we're gonna push to straight away get past in the next DRS zone, which is easier said than done because we are on cold mediums, of course. Tires take around half a lap to warm up, but we're gonna go for it anyway. New mediums and 9 qualifying laps. We're gonna turn on the overtake button and let the DRS do the rest of the work. So in the slipstream we go. DRS open, and quite easy overtake right there. Next up, Tamas Gal, 3.1 seconds ahead of us, and then Valentin, who, remember, boxed at the end of lap 17, I think so. So 3 laps fresher tires we have, and you're about to see how much of an advantage that is in the coming few laps. Still got a relatively full battery actually, 70%, and we're gonna use that to overtake as many cars as possible. We're gonna use it smart though. We don't want to drain it all, catch up to the next car and then not be able to overtake, of course. Of course we've got a huge grip advantage. We still want easy overtakes without spending a lot of time behind other cars. We want to use that fresh rubber as fast as we can. And now we've already gained like 2 seconds or to Tomas just on this lap alone. And that shows new set of mediums is such a big advantage. And that's why we went so long. You can actually see the leader is going on to the DRS straight already. That Haas in the bottom left. However, that is Piotr Starchelek who boxed under VSC onto hards, I think so. And he actually is trying to go to the end. And then I think around 2-3 seconds behind him is Otis Lawrence on those mediums who boxed at the end of lap 16 or 15, I'm actually not sure anymore. But easy overtake there, right there. Tomas did not have any DRS to play with, so that was not really much of an issue. Next lap, Joni Tormela has no DRS once again as well, so that's another position gain for us there. And next up is Valentin, who is on 3-lap all the tires. So I think he is one of the freshest ahead of us, apart from Lucas Blakely, of course. So through the long left-hander we go. You can see we still have more grip though, and the time gain from just 3-lap fresher tires is actually insane. We're gonna turn on the overtake button and go for a move here and go for another move on Istvan Pukki up to P9. We actually get the fast lap of the race as well. So as I said early on, actually there's no fastest lap point in WR, which yeah, honestly is fine. That's how old F1 worked as well, of course. Usually in league racing it gets taken away by someone boxing on the last lap anyway. So Fabrizio now on a lot older mediums. We're once again gonna go for a move into the hairpin. We did that in the previous stint actually as well. We were in the exact same scenario as Fabrizio here. We're tucking in the slipstream, turning a little bit the overtake on for a brief moment, just to make sure we go side by side into the braking zone. And up to P8 we go. Now we've got Declan Barrett once again ahead of us. That's the third time this race we are behind him. And let's see how fast we can get past him. Fabrizio is having a little look down the inside of turn 1. I moved a little bit late there, to be honest. A little bit too late. I think I reacted
Declan tires again?
Seeing Fabrizio go for it, so a little bit late there, but
it's fine in the corners.
No contact made, so that's all fine. And now you can see how much more grip we have compared to Declan. We're gonna go for the switchback into the long left-hander, send it down the inside, and we're completely passed in at the apex. And then straight away on the exit, I could see that Nicolas was not getting any DRS. And once again, we're gonna get a free overtake into the left-hander. And then we've got Lucas Blakely ahead of us with 4.5 laps to go. You can see he's flashing, which means he's under 10% battery, and he does not have the advantage of an extra 160 horsepower if he turns the overtake button on. Shanika Clay, Piotr Starchelek on those old hards in P3, and then we've got Otis Lawrence and Luke Smith, who earlier on was on the same strategy as us, but boxed 4 full laps earlier than us. So we are gonna have a huge pace advantage towards the end of the race still, even though our tires are now 5 laps old as well, as Lucas goes for a brutal send in the hairpin. Has a bit of contact with Shanika, but makes the move, and Shanika actually going for it into turn 1 once again. We said a 128.8 at lap 25, and now we've got 4 laps remaining. So we basically have to overtake 2 cars in 1 lap, and then 3 in the remaining 3 laps. So let's see if we can go for a move here on Shanika. We do the same as previous lap, and up to P5 we go. We leave space on Shanika for Shanika on the exit, and that is P5. And now we've got Piotr next up, because Lucas, I assume, is gonna get a quite easy move done here. Even if Piotr does fight it hard, I think he doesn't really stand a chance on those 20 lap old hards. So Lucas is gonna send it down the inside, squeezes Piotr a little bit wider on the exit, which invites us around the outside of Piotr. He squeezes on the exit, but leaves us just enough room. We do the same to him, and up to P4 we go. At the end of this one, there's gonna be 3 laps remaining, and that gives us 3 laps to pass 3 cars. And we've got 50% battery, but a lot fresher tires and a lot of DRS in the coming 3 laps. You can see Lucas flashing there as well, actually, so he is still low on battery. And with 1.5 laps to go now, we're still only in P4. We have not really made any ground, as yeah, the guys ahead were pushing hard, using the battery to try and get track position over each other. We just sat back a little bit and just saw them squibble for track position. But now we are gonna have to go on the attack as well. You can see Lucas still flashing as he tried to get into P2 in the past few laps. But yeah, couldn't really pull it off. Simply because he was low on battery and did not have a huge tire advantage to the 2 cars ahead. We've turned on the overtake button now, and you can see the overspeed we have into the hairpin. We're gonna go. Can we get a double overtake done here maybe? We're gonna go around the outside of Luke Smith. We get squeezed, and unfortunately we can't quite pull it off on the outside of the hairpin. We're gonna go once again down the inside in turn 1, but can't really brake late enough. We don't have a big enough of a tire advantage to really pull it off, so we're gonna have to slot back into P3 and go for it again somewhere in the middle or the last sector. Through the fast chicane we go, over the inside curbs to try and maximize rotation through this long left-hander. We are in the dirty air, but you can see we still have a grip advantage to Luke Smith as we close in on the apex speed. We're gonna turn on the overtake button, tuck in the slipstream of Luke Smith, who has to go on the attack because Otis does not have DRS. If Luke does not go on the attack, we will overtake him. It's gonna be 3 wide into the next left-hander. We're gonna send it all the way around the outside, and we get the move done. Up to P1 we go briefly. We still have Luke Smith on the outside. We're gonna have to let him go. Into the next chicane we go, into P2, ahead of Otis Lawrence now. We don't have a lot of battery remaining compared to these guys, but we are gonna get DRS on this final straight. We're gonna tuck in the slipstream, Luke goes defensive, we're gonna turn the DRS on, we're gonna turn the ERS on, and we're gonna go around the outside. But no, we're gonna switch down the inside and get the inside into the final braking zone we go. We're gonna be ahead at the apex. We ran a little bit deep, but we're gonna be ahead in the final corner of the race. We have not been leading a single time this race apart from the final corner, and we have won with a 2-stop race, and we've won the championship. What a final lap it was around Miami. The VSC gave us the opportunity to go for the 2-stop, and we decided to take it with both hands, and it was the right decision. As you could see, Luke finishing P3 on the 2-stop. Otis had pole position, of course, I think so. Yeah, it was the best strategy. We only had around 3 seconds to make the decision. We took the decision with both hands and made it work by taking the lead of the race, and with that the championship on the final lap of the race. Hope you guys enjoyed this crazy league race, probably the most interesting and best league race on F1 23 so far, in my opinion. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.